Hello and welcome to the Keeper's Corner podcast with your hosts Matt Sterling and Brandon and Michelle Brooks. We are breaking down anything and everything Utica City. Let's go. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 17 of the Keeper's Corner podcast. Utica's on the road this weekend in St. Louis for 2 games. First game was Friday night, and it ended in disaster, disappointment, disarray, and any other word that you can think of for failure.
In a word, you done effed it up.
It was a cluster truck. It was that 10-car pileup on the highway that you don't want to look at when you're driving by, but you just stare.
I guess we'll start with mentioning that on this road trip, based from what we saw Friday, there is no Liam as he's recovering from a concussion. There is no Logan Roberts. There's no Vitale. And there's no Petrera. They started Perella in goal, and a 5-1 lead ended up disappearing in the fourth quarter. Overtime was forced at 6-6, and Utica lost it on a shootout.
It disappeared so rapidly. It was like 3 minutes and it was gone.
Before we get into the angry, let's talk about the good. How'd you guys feel about the first 3 quarters?
They looked great. I mean, they were playing well. They were very easily outplaying St. Louis. I mean, not just on the scoreboard, but in general, they were easily just, walking all over them. They were just doing whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. Even the commentators were basically saying the same thing. That, Utica was just able to execute what they wanted when they wanted, and there wasn't much that St. Louis could do about it.
They looked beautiful. Perella was doing fantastic. The defense was looking amazing. I got a little bit screechy and a little bit ragey that Braithwaite kept going after Tagba.
Yeah, Tagba had a rough night. He got knocked down a lot.
A lot, yeah. Yeah, but Perella was doing great. The defense was 98% on point during the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, you hand yourself a 5-1 lead going into the fourth, and usually you would think that would be pretty good. Diego's got the scoring going. Bo got another goal, second in 2 games. Looked great off that header off the glass from Moy.
Moy got a goal.
Just an all-around good performance that turned into, I don't know what you would call that.
The easiest way to describe it, oh God, this is going to sound awful. Nobody died, but it was kind of like watching the Challenger disaster.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh. Sorry. I said nobody died, but like you're so hopeful, like everything looks good at first, and it just explodes.
My high school was named after one of the guys that died on the Challenger explosion.
What?
Yes, what Mohawks High School was Gregory B. Jarvis.
Well, that escalated very quickly. I'm sorry.
That struck a little close to home.
Brandon is I think I should just. I'm just. This is going to get edited out. I know it is.
No, I think I'm going to leave it, but...
Could you please stop staring at me like that?
I just have not been able to say anything. That was... No!
I'm sorry. It was a very bad analogy. It was bad. It was awful to watch, okay? It was just awful. Sorry if it offended anybody.
There were so many other analogies you could have used.
That was the first one that popped into my head.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Utica. Sorry.
Do you want me to make it worse?
No? Sure. Can it get
Michelle
worse?
just had her 9/11 moment.
Oh, God. I'm bye.
We shouldn't joke about these things, but...
Oh,
Humor's the only way to cope with tragedy, and last night was a tragic loss.
I cried a little bit, all right?
There wasn't one standout in the first 5 quarters. Or first 5 quarters. Wow. Yeah. First 3 quarters. You had Diego starting us off. which, following up about 7 minutes later with Momo, which was awesome to see. Great to see him get a goal.
Mama.
After that, you're looking at, JT Thomas for St. Louis in the first. And that basically summed up the first quarter. Second quarter, the only score was Ben Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they kept calling him Ramen.
Whatever.
Yeah,
We call him ramen sometimes.
it's not uncommon.
Sorry, Raymond.
And then even our third quarter was great. Our third quarter, Bo and Moy both got goals, and we kept them until 1 for the third quarter, which I was astounded. I was like, this is a great third quarter. Nothing could go wrong from here.
And then Matt types in the group chat and says, tonight is the night for blown leads. Way to go, Matt.
I did not say that. I said it was not safe and that there was no reason to let off the gas. And then they come out in the fourth period, and what do?
They fall apart.
They let off the gas. They stopped pressuring them. St. Louis got 18 shots off in the fourth quarter. 18.
Tagba.
Yeah.
5 goals on 18 shots. That's not, that's a league, top 10 league goalie.
Yeah, I mean, Pirella had, 28 shots against him, and he only allowed 6 goals? I'm pretty sure that...
I think that was 28 saves. So he faced 34 shots.
That's amazing.
I think you're wrong.
Sorry, total 43 when you include the 4 in overtime.
Okay.
Utica had 34 total.
Yeah, and then, I mean, Tagba messed up when he tried to pass it back to Pirella because I think he thought Pirella was closer than where he was. And St. Louis took it and ran with it. That was our fault.
That was a terrible play.
I mean, as we mentioned, both keepers had a hell of a night. I mean, Paulo, you're looking at 17 or 19 saves with only 6 goals against. I mean,
See the Hedgehog?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's the Hedgehog.
I didn't know his name.
Yeah, Paolo Nascimento.
So, I mean, both goalies had a fantastic night. They were both on point, and I definitely have to give it to him for that one. He was, him and Pirella were fantastic.
Yeah, 760 save percentage for Paolo, 786 for Pirella.
Yep.
Ultimately, what this comes down to is Utica was a little short on defense, and once they let up the gas, and I mean, you could tell as soon as the fourth quarter hit, they kind of slowed things down and were trying to burn clock. And those long passes in the middle third,
Screwed us.
they're easy to pick off.
Yeah.
They stopped applying as much pressure. All of a sudden, it's 5-3. You can feel the momentum shifted at that point. St. Louis is back in the game. They know it. Utica's collective, I don't know ego, would you say, has shattered.
Oh, definitely.
And they started playing on their heels. Instead of playing to win, they were playing not to lose at that point. Just a terrible fourth quarter.
It was a far cry from the team that we watched against Baltimore.
It was a far cry from the team we saw for the first 3 quarters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think, Matt, you said it best. It doesn't matter how far you've, how much pressure or how badly you're beating them. Just put the foot on the throat and just keep applying pressure until they're dead.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's a blowout? Keep going.
We saw it last Sunday where the Wave came back from a 5-goal deficit to force overtime, and they lost, but that was against St. Louis. We saw it Thursday night. Monterey was down 5, came back to win. And then at the same time that St. Louis was playing Utica, Kansas City scored 7 unanswered goals to win over the Wave after they were down by 5.
Yep.
Leads are not safe in this league. You cannot just play to not lose, let off the gas, and try to save your energy for another day.
Stop and look at Houston last week against Kansas City for the NFL. I don't know, if their 24 that was it, and then they just tuckered out, and that was just as painful to watch as that was.
I don't know, man. It was just
It was
brutal
painful.
to watch.
Yep. It was very painful.
And we had a St. Louis supporter comment on one of our posts on Facebook. I don't know if you guys saw it. Said the same thing we're seeing, and he was at the game, like in person.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I mean, no ill feelings towards St. Louis whatsoever. They played an amazing game. It was a complete failing on our part, and you hate. It hurts. It hurt to watch that game. It was not like the Baltimore game where we went to overtime and we still lost, but nobody. I mean, I know the two of us did not have any issue. It was like we played a hell of a game and we just happened to, we ended up losing. I mean, we did not feel bad about that. That game last night, I hated everything.
You got to feel like this has got to be a wake up for the guys, because yes, there are teams that you absolutely should beat in this league. You should beat them 10 out of 10 times. But as we saw last year with Harrisburg and Mississauga, you can't take any game for granted.
Harrisburg and us.
Yeah, this year. I mean, well, that's what I meant.
I'm sorry. Not Harrisburg and us. Mississauga and us.
Yeah, where they beat us 10-1, 10-2 on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. If somebody said it in the the game thread for the MASL off the wall, apparently this is the year of anybody beating anybody.
Anything goes.
Anybody can beat anybody, and it's like, yeah, that's the thing is, yes, there should be people that we can beat on paper, day in and day out, no problem.
Doesn't mean crap.
But in practice, that's not how it happens, and that's not how that's never how it's going to play. It's not always how it's going to play out. But if you play up to the standards that everyone and yourselves should expect, of you, you should and will walk out with a win. But you have to play up to your standards that you should expect of yourself. And that the fourth quarter they just didn't do that. They just did not play up to their potential.
No ill feelings towards St. Louis. They did play a heck of a game. Some of the dirtiness, though. There was some dirty plays.
Yeah, I think the refs did a good job, though. They called most
they
of
did.
them. Yeah, they were there.
Harrisburg.
Yeah, the officials had a very good game. I would say there were two key plays that I saw and I disagreed with. The first being the handball that was called just outside of the box. I mean, inches outside of the box, and then they spotted it 5 yards away.
Yeah.
Which, I don't think being any closer would have helped Utica, because it would have made their angles more difficult and packed more people in the box.
Yep.
But you can't be off by that much. And then the other one was on that Paolo slide save way outside the box.
Where he was sitting on it like an egg?
Yeah, and it looked like it was past him. Yeah, we're not at field level, but we saw in the first quarter, was it, the handball that was not a handball that got called and then corrected.
Yep.
I understand not making a call if you can't see it, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, we can see one thing from the cameras, but they might not be able to see the same things, and that's... it's one of those things, especially now. I mean, obviously there's nothing you can do about it, but you just got to wonder. It's like, what did they see what did they see in that instance?
Sorry.
But otherwise, it was a well-called game. One of the better ones that we've watched this year.
Yeah, no, it was definitely, low penalties. Of course, okay, there is one thing I have to bring up because it's the second game in a row that it's happened to us.
Okay.
Get better with the line changes, Utica. It's the second game in a row that we've gotten called for a sixth man out there. we went through the entire season last year without a single call for that. I'm pretty sure. And we went through the first third of this season with nothing. And now all of a sudden, 2 games in a row, we're getting caught with our pants down because we're getting out there, we're getting, whatever, over ambitious to get out on the field. Make sure the line changes are clean, guys.
You know something else that Utica has been terrible at this season?
Passing in front of the goal?
Yes. We hate that. Don't play with it in your own third. But no. Our power play percentage, when we're on the power play, not trying to kill, our kill's great. We kill it 67% of the time. Fantastic.
We did last night in overtime.
We only scored 22% of the time.
Yeah, we need to make something go on that.
That's just awful.
They're taking pointers from the Comets.
On which part? How to blow a lead or the?
No, how to, play with it in a power play rather than actually score. Just pass it around constantly. I had the same complaint whenever I was watching the Comets. It's like all they did was, just play with it. Just pass back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the, opponent's third and look for that perfect opportunity. It's like, just take the opportunities. You have 2 minutes. Take some shots. Take some risks. It's 5-on-4. You should, as long as you plan it out, be able to recover much better than them. Take some risks.
It's just, I don't.
Again, it all comes back to, especially whenever they're at an advantage. When they're up, they don't take as many risks.
Mm-hmm.
When they're on a power play, they don't take as many risks. Take some risks. They're worth it.
Yeah. Right now, in the East, Utica's, and, in the entire league, there are only 3 teams worse than Utica on the power play at this point. Rochester,
Shocking.
Dallas,
Shocking.
and Mesquite.
Seriously?
Wow.
Rochester and Dallas are both 1 for 9. Mesquite's 3 for 14. Utica's 2 for 9.
Wait. Oh, never mind.
How many times they've scored on a penalty play?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, 667, that's about league average, slightly above. But for a team with as much offensive firepower as Utica, they've got to convert on those chances.
Yes, absolutely.
Hopefully we see some changes tomorrow. That's all I can say.
I don't know if we'll see him tomorrow, but I think we'll see a completely different team from Friday.
I want to see the fire. I want to see the oomph. I don't want to see whatever the hell that was in the fourth quarter last night.
Yeah, I don't want to see a completely different team. I want to see the team from the first 3 quarters play a full game.
Yep.
Yeah. Keep the foot on the neck until they stop twitching.
Mm-hmm.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it's a creepy analogy, but it's a great one.
Better than yours.
Accurate. And they're both about death.
I'm just don't let up the gas until you see the hope drain from their eyes.
Yep.
Exactly.
This game on Friday would have been the perfect chance to seize second place in the standings in the East. All right. Moving on to Sunday's game. 11-5 victory for Utica. They looked a lot better, at least in the fourth quarter. How'd you guys feel about everything?
And that was definitely the big difference there. Kept it together in third and fourth. I honestly think the biggest adjustment, really, that they had to make was just the constantly going against sixth attacker. I mean, that's something I kind of realized, partway through this game, is that they weren't used to going against the sixth attacker for so long. I mean, I have to give it to St. Louis. They were definitely really smooth at getting that sixth attacker out when they wanted him, and also switching back to having their goalkeeper in play when they needed him to. So, I mean, they were definitely very good at transitioning between.
Weird.
Very weird.
It was
Yeah.
You're playing most of your game with your six. I mean, I understand when Paolo.
Paolo.
When Paolo got taken out because of his injury. So I understand that they had the sixth attacker going for that because they didn't somehow miraculously have a backup.
I don't know, just poor roster at that point.
Overall, it was definitely a much better showing than Friday. They kept it together for the entire game, and definitely continued to apply pressure, regardless of how far they were up. We saw that with the fourth quarter. I mean, they ended up having 3 goals in the fourth quarter to St. Louis's 2.
Yeah. The fourth quarter, like you mentioned, they had the sixth attacker on for most of it, or a quick transition off for their keeper after a goal, and it kind of felt like Utica was trying to kill a power play for the vast majority of the fourth quarter, which we did pretty well. Tough to get some of these final stats just because the MASL website's having a few issues. But
Yes, I looked. Paolo had a .500 save percentage, and Andrew had a .714.
sounds about right. Much more aggressive game, I would say, for Utica on the offensive end. They, like you said, they didn't let up. Diegues and Bo both had 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points total. Raymond had a goal and an assist. Tagba got in with 2 assists. It was another all-around effort. And the final line shows what happens when this team plays a full 60 minutes and doesn't let someone back into it. Oh, my Lanta.
I gotta say, even Coughlin had some amazing saves tonight. I mean, both keepers. Honestly, both Perella and Coughlin had just amazing showings this weekend. Yeah, sure, we lost on Friday, but Perella was on his game for most of it. And I mean, Coughlin tonight was just some of those saves. I don't know how he did it. I mean, I lost track of the ball, and it was it's in his hands. He got it.
Yeah, between the 2 games, if our defense plays to their potential, I don't care who's in goal. We stand a very good chance of winning. Holy crap balls. Sorry, I've got the Outlaws and Sockers game on in the background. It's 2 minutes into the game, and the Sockers already lead 3-0.
Oh, damn. I think what I like to see in this game, Bo, like you said in the group chat, Bo came alive.
Yeah, we finally saw something out of him this year. These past, 3 games?
Yep.
Yeah, he was definitely getting pretty, I guess you could, for lack of a better term, he's getting complacent. It's like, it just seemed like he's like, yeah, I'm playing this game, but I don't have any passion for it. And then, there was a couple times tonight where, I think in the third, when he got his goal in the third, that, we almost saw, his trademark, jump
Fist
up and fist,
Yeah.
That was, it was good to see. It definitely brought a smile to our faces, just like seeing him being as excited as he was.
It was the old Bo.
Yeah, 4 goals in the past 3 games. It was good to see because it gives Utica one more weapon. Hopefully they're close to getting everything straightened out with Zuniga, which, as a creator, will take even more of that stress off of Bo and allow him to do what he does best as a target forward.
What did the refs have against Obasi tonight?
I really can't say.
Because it wasn't just Obasi, it was they nailed Tagba for quote-unquote tripping, but didn't hurt him, but he had gotten elbowed in the face.
I don't know. I think on that one it was just because Tagba initiated the contact and the elbow to the face was as crap. Who was it on St. Louis?
I almost want to say Pablo.
Might have been yeah. But yeah, they just kind of took that stutter step and their arm came up to I don't know if you would say preemptively catch themselves or defend themselves and defend themselves, and it ended up catching Tagba in the face again. Man, at this rate, the way he's been taking shots these past 2 games, it's glad to see him keep playing because you got a bit of an injury bug, and the last thing, we need is another defender going down.
No, I mean, Obasi, he went out in the second for tripping, and then we don't have the penalty summary from the fourth, but I know he was out for the last 30 seconds for another penalty. It looked like probably tripping again, because I know that him and I don't remember who he went down with, but they were both down on the sidelines there for a good 20, 30 seconds before they both got up. So my guess is he probably got it for tripping again for 2 minutes, but obviously with only 30 seconds left, he didn't serve the whole thing. But
that one or the one?
That was the one.
Either way, all I know is that they went down for a bit. They were down. They were both down for a bit, and then Obasi was last to get up.
Yeah, either way, I mean, Obasi was, he had 2 blues this game. So I mean, that's
one more he would have been in trouble. Dirty tripper.
It was a solid performance on Utica's end. They started off with a goal a minute 13 into the game that no one got to see because of the technical issues that were going on. Then it was quickly tied, and we didn't see that. Game came in about 8 minutes into the first quarter, and it looked like, crap, here we go again. Just, St. Louis was fighting tooth and nail, and you're like, no, this looks like overtime, just even, and neither one seemed to pull ahead, but second and third quarter, Utica really asserted themselves.
Absolutely, yeah, I mean, got Diegues, Moy, Diegues again, St. Louis then scores, and then Schindler. I mean, before the half, I mean, we had a really nice split between different people. Everybody was getting some time, getting the ball in goal, and we were holding them. It was unfortunately it was looking very reminiscent of Friday. We had done the exact same thing. It was, I think, 5-1. Friday at the half, and
I don't think we scored our fourth and fifth
no,
goal
it's
until the third.
Like 3-1 or 3-2, something like that. Never mind. But it was still looking very reminiscent. We were pulling way ahead, and we just were waiting for the crash. I know that's what I was waiting for, but I was being somewhat optimistic at the same time. But I mean, ultimately, they came out in the third, and took our 2 goals to their 1, which was fantastic. Then right in the beginning of the fourth quarter, started getting nervous again because 30 seconds in, you've got one from JT Thomas. I mean, they had the 6th attacker out there between the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth, and I was like, great, here we go again. It's going to be another fourth quarter like it was last time. And that's when, we had Obasi, we had Raymond, back-to-back goals within 2 minutes of each other, not even. And, I mean, that's when I was like, okay, no, they are applying the pressure still. They're doing what they should be doing. They're not letting off the gas. And, that was when it was like, you know what, I think we got some hope here. The light at the end of the tunnel's coming up. So, and finally, capping it off, Pablo getting a goal at 2:33 remaining, and then Moy getting the last one at 2:05 remaining. At that point, it was like, okay, 2 minutes left. it's a 6-goal deficit. They're really going to need to pull something out of their butts to get this to happen. I don't think they're going to do it. So,
Yeah, you got to give credit where credit is due there with St. Louis. A lot of these games that we see turn into blowouts, at least last year, the losing team tended just to, if they're down by 5-6 goals by the fourth quarter, they tend to just, all right, we'll apply a little bit of pressure, but we're not going to go all out here. And, St. Louis stuck with it the whole time. As Utica fans, I think we all would have liked them to let up. But go ahead, Michelle.
The empty net helped us out a lot.
Yeah, it makes things a little bit easier for us when they've got that 6th attacker out there.
to an extent, they did let off a little bit with 3-4 minutes remaining. I think it was basically after they scored their last one. I noticed that Paulo really didn't go off the field anymore. They basically just kept him in. They stopped going for the 6th attacker, and that's when things kind of calmed down a little bit. I mean, we still scored one more time, but at that point, it was kind of like, okay, I did feel like they kind of fell into, okay, we're gonna apply pressure, but it's pretty much a lost cause at this point. I think that they felt like that was. I did feel like they were getting to that point towards the end.
It was good to see the team really, even the play-by-play guys were saying it, is Utica came out and they stepped on the ambush's throat and held them down until the game was done.
Stop twitching.
You stop twitching, okay. I mean, if you want to go a little bit darker.
I already went dark. Might as well keep going.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about this game. It was a better, more Utica-style game that is what we expect from the team at this point.
Let's keep it rolling into the 31st, because I know we have a week off until we play St. Louis again, right?
Yes, I know Utica's off for the week. We don't play this coming weekend. And then it's that Friday game on the 31st. I'm not sure about the ambush, but now that the website's back up, kind of.
Neither team plays. Oh, nope.
St. Louis plays Florida on the 25th.
And they play Orlando on the 24th.
They got back-to-backs. They might be tired.
Yeah, a little, but then they get 4 days off you got to figure the game was the 25th there is Saturday, so they're going to travel Sunday, unless they're flying out after the game Saturday night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, they're going to be on a plane. Friday's morning kick around, and then game Friday night.
Yeah, that's. I don't see them suffering any side effects from that. That's normal schedule. I don't anticipate any negative effects for them. I will say, normally in this instance, them never being in Utica, that we would say, oh well, they're it's going to be an interesting transition to environment. But honestly, I don't see it being much different for them. I mean, they had, I want to say, thought the thing on MASL, which could be wrong, had 4,800 in attendance. I mean, that's actually more than what Utica normally has.
They also said that Harrisburg had 1,500 when
I guess it's kind of crazy that they had 4,800 because they only had 1,700 show up to the Friday night game. And yes, St. Louis used to have a NFL team before the Rams went back to Los Angeles.
Yep.
But Kansas City's in the same state, and they were playing in the AFC Championship the same time this game was going on. So
it was definitely impressive. I mean, granted, we couldn't see them that much on the broadcast, but they weren't loud. They weren't. I didn't hear much, but again, that could just be the broadcast. The only time we heard them was during the goal celebration. But I don't see them having a big issue when they come to Utica. So I don't think they're going to have a big problem transitioning to our environment.
I just see them having a difficult transition because the guys feed off of the fans. I mean, even Ryan said it himself. The players feed off of the hype and the energy that the fans are giving. So
It's Utica City after dark. It gets
if
weird.
they get weird victory screech.
Ooh, we can break out
Hmm?
the hats. Break out the hats again.
Yes, if I can. I think they're still in Kate's car for ours. But the Hawaiian shirt will be making a return.
Oh God, great.
Kate's stepdad, who will be there, also bought a Hawaiian shirt. They're going to be sitting across the aisle from us. He's also requested to wave the flag, so our section might be a little bit rowdier than usual, which is hard to imagine.
Wrong with that.
Nothing wrong.
No.
I promise. I solemnly swear I won't run.
I'm gonna say that pretty much wraps up everything going on this week. Disappointment in the first night, victory the second day. Utica really should have won these two. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us at the end of the season in the standings. Because at the moment, Utica, Milwaukee, and Harrisburg are all tied at 7-3. Harrisburg's has the lead in that because of their goal differential, which has been padded by their 6 games against Rochester. And hopefully we can do the same in our 4 remaining games against the Lancers. Sorry, Lancers fans, but it's going to take you a few years, and for now, help out your fellow in-state team.
Yeah, just play the 6 attacker the whole game. We'll just, it's fine.
I have something to add from the Fanatic.
Yeah.
He said he requested to let everyone know the difference between the 2 games, in his opinion, is how they played against the 6th attacker.
That's exactly what I was
Nailed it on
saying.
the head, yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, Brandon, you got to say it because no one can see you except me and
Right.
Michelle.
Victory.
You can't just strike a victory pose and be like, yeah, I was right. I hope all of you listening can see me.
Well, they do say I have a face for radio.
Got that right. Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
That's exactly what I was saying.
I'm
It's they had to adjust to playing against the 6th attacker for as long as they did. They might have done it before with 5 minutes remaining in spurts, but not for quarters. And that's exactly what they had to do. The end of the third, actually most of the third, in Friday's game, and then pretty much all the fourth in Friday's. And about 70-30 for the fourth quarter in this game. It's with the second half of the third. It was.
Phil, the audio and visual guy, also wants to say I'd like to submit the finishing was also better. Friday night could have been 9-1 with better finishing. Because remember, he kept saying they didn't bring their finishing shoes.
Yeah, the Friday night game came down to Paolo's outstanding performance versus his performance tonight. I don't want to say that it was just Utica. Being fresh, he and Perella dueled each other to a tie. And today, with his playing 2 days ago, Coughlin being fresh, and then Paolo having that leg injury that took him out of the game for a little bit, and we don't know how much it nagged him the rest of it, that could have been a very big difference.
I just want to throw this out there. Wrapping up, I just want to say it was very nice to see Goldman out on the field yet again. I caught him out there a few times,
Celebrate.
right up near the goal. I mean, he was. I know he's a forward, so he was right up there in position. It wasn't needed those couple of times, but still, it's just nice to see him out there. Getting exposure, and I'd love it. I'm interested to see when the Rochester game.
Yeah, it's great seeing these first-year guys get a chance to contribute. I'll be honest. When Momo was signed from the Lancers outdoor team after Mo Kenaway had his ACL tear, it was, okay, here's a guy that hasn't played indoor yet. They hadn't made it public that he had trained with the team last year, so we didn't know that he had even any practice. And I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting a whole lot of him out of him this first season, but he's got 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah, I feel like he's a competitor for like a rookie of the year for sure. He's been consistently performing. He's had some missteps, but he's definitely been a playmaker for sure.
I still like that post that Utica made about him. I think it was on Instagram. They're like, "Is it Usain Bolt?" And they're like, "No, it's just Momo." When he took off out of the penalty box against Harrisburg that day, I just flew right in. It's fine. I will give Utica this. It was sad to watch Joey go. It was sad to watch Mood go. But the people we've signed in return, they've become playmakers. They've become staples of the team, I feel like. And it's kind of one of those things of want to see what they can keep doing.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to, be glad with who we have this year and see what happens next year because nothing's set in stone. And I will, I'm just going to say for now, we're definitely, I think all of us can agree, we absolutely love how the team is at this point, both on and off the field, and look forward to the rest of the season. So, for now,
yeah, we're 10 games into it.
Still think it's funny that Christian and Vitali kept their poster.
I honestly don't know what happened to Vitali's, but I'm glad you brought up the posters. They're still up for auction. It ends later this week. I want to say Thursday. Let me double check that real quick because I don't want to be wrong.
I'm bidding more for Tim's. I want Tim's. I went for Liam's, but I don't know the other 3 people who are going after Liam's. It's like a fight to the death for that one.
Yeah, Liam is currently the most popular with 17 bids, sitting at $34. But at the time of this recording, there are 3 days and 20 hours left. So that means Thursday at 5:30 will be the last chance you'll have to bid on these. Set your reminders. Again, it all goes to benefit the victims of the Boonville fire.
Just want to say, I actually had a question for you, Matt.
Okay.
You were the designer of these.
Yes.
Some of them, I think, are essentially bidless because people don't, I don't really know what, at least, I think it's Diegue's. I don't understand the poster.
Yeah.
I think I could use an explanation as well as anyone else.
All right. Well, yeah, Diegue's somehow unbid on. Golazo, just another way of saying a fancy goal. And if you're wondering what the hands with the 2 circles are, you ever notice how when he scores a goal, he kind of does that finger gun roll? It's his celebration.
I noticed that today, actually.
I didn't know that, and I'm sure that there's others out there that don't know that, and that's, potentially be why he's unbid on. I mean, that's really surprising that he doesn't have anything.
No one's bid on his. No one has bid on Petrera's, which I went with the Shield because he's a defender. Yeah, I know he sees minimal playing time, but he is still part of the team. Momo, surprisingly, no one's bid on. I think the beard explains itself, and the Mo problems. That's a tongue twister, but it's a fun tongue twister.
again, it may sound like we're, promoting these like we're gonna get something out of it. We don't get anything out of it.
No.
We're donating any proceeds from this to the Boonville Fire victims. So,
And then Tagba also remains without a bid.
Togba tough.
Yes. Yeah. He's tough on defense. We saw that the past 2 games where he got lit up a few times. Looked more like NFL than MASL, and just kept chugging along.
Him and Braithwaite were definitely butting heads a couple times there in the first game.
I hate to say it, but do we expect anything else out of that from Braithwaite?
He was a brawler in Utica, and there was nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, he.
Schindler.
Oh, shit. Schindler's even learned how to calm down, though. Kind of.
Just don't pull him down with a second. Just 1.8 seconds left in the game.
Don't do that.
But yeah, well, I'll retweet and repost the link with a reminder, and time's running out, et cetera, et cetera. That is the big thing. Wallpaper Wednesdays will continue to be on Wednesday, as long as I can keep up with it.
Somebody made this for Moy. Hang on. It's on Utica's.
I cannot see that. That is.
Go to Utica's Facebook page. Or no, Moy actually posted it. I'll send it to you. Segura, yeah. Free sombreros is what they're calling them.
Three amigos.
Oh, okay, it's actually at the top of my. Nice. Someone with way more photo editing experience than me.
Definitely. Sorry.
No, that's fair. I mean, for anyone that looks at the designs and goes, they don't look that great. Yeah, I know. I came up with these in my spare time.
But you know what?
And
I think they don't look good. Some that are better. Not you do some that are better, but those listening,
yeah.
If you can do better, show us. Let's see it.
T-shirt designs, I'm going to keep dropping them every Friday. The one difficulty with that is, as I said, these Utica ones, the posters, are going to be a one-off print. And they were originally meant to be the T-shirt designs. So I'm going through player by player and redoing their design. This past Friday, you saw Coughlin's Mr. Stretch come out.
You definitely like that one.
Yes. That one looked really nice. Not sure, because we do get, at least through the Keepers email, I don't know if either of you have signed into it, but we get notified whenever someone buys something from our shop. That was the fastest selling shirt. We sold one in the first day. I was very excited.
Be prepared, because I want to get everybody the beer garden don't start till I walk in.
Yeah?
Or the lager derby.
Oh my lord. We have a little while for that.
I mean, hey. Get ahead.
Yeah, why not? Otherwise, guys, everything looked good. UCFC After Dark coming up. Anything you guys have to add?
Yeah, things are gonna get weird. Things are gonna get weird.
Yeah, they are gonna get weird. There are a few thunder sticks that are unblown up floating around in this apartment.
Us too. And they had a gate because.
Do have to order my Things Get Weird After Dark t-shirt. Because. What was that?
Glow in the dark paint?
I think we can get that on Amazon. I don't know.
My Brandon's just staring. Glow in the dark face paint.
Oh, we could absolutely get face paint. I guarantee you can find glow-in-the-dark body paint on Amazon. Or just Walmart, or maybe even like one of the hobby shops around here.
It's creepily smiling.
That's the face of someone who wants you to do like the eye black, but with face paint for him that says UC under one eye and FC under the other.
Okay, sure,
Yeah,
we'll go with that face. I wasn't thinking Ted Bundy.
We're just anything. But the Utica Shield.
I will do it.
Yeah, I will keep my head as bald and smooth as I can.
I will shave your head. I have razors. Shaving it.
It's a Friday night, so the stipulations are I'll have to come over to you earlier and try not to sweat because I know. Well, actually, you should have. I think you're taking it off, right?
I'm working half a day, but I'm gonna see. I might take the whole day
Okay.
to do body paint or the face paint.
Yeah, I might have a couple of hours.
Yeah, I know we're meeting Kate's step-parents at the game, or at 72 beforehand to party before the game. And, depending on finances, maybe we'll party after the game as well.
10 o'clock at night, oh my god!
But it's on a Friday.
Yeah, sleep in and party hard. We're not Paul Rudd's character and role models who wants to rock and roll all night and part of every day.
No, we want to party until like midnight and come home.
All right. So we mentioned the store. It's on TeePublic. We mentioned the poster auction. If the posters aren't your thing, there is the signed straight out of the penalty box T-shirt. We're donating. That one's team signed. We are donating it as one of the, I don't know if it's going to be a Chinese auction, door prize, how they're doing it, at the Boonville benefit next Saturday night. I can share out the event link on the social media for anyone else that's interested. It's a $10 door charge. Again, everything goes to help the fire victims. There's going to be some bands, some food.
It's going to be a good time either way, but now, if you're with, city faithful, it's a good way to not only support a good cause, but potentially support some cool loot too. I mean, Matt said it's team sign, so
yeah, I guess if any of these posters go unauctioned, we'll give those away as well.
That was me. We'll worry about that after the.
Okay. My phone just blew up, which means ESPN told me that football stuff, and yeah, I'll get back to you on that. Social media, make sure you're following us, Facebook and Twitter.
Somebody bid on Perella.
Yeah. Why not? He had a great game the other night. If anyone wants to annoy the FC fanatic, all they have to do is bid on Onua Obasi's.
Hey, come on, give him a run for his money. Been sitting there, hasn't had to fight for it yet. I've always been thinking about putting a bid on it, but then again, he's probably got a max bid of like $50 on it, for all I know.
Yeah, social media, Facebook, Twitter. Next week, Utica's off. We won't be. We'll still have an episode. I think we're going to try to work something out with the Fanatic and Katie and maybe Phil Lavanco.
But what about Ray? Maybe Ray, if he's not announcing.
Bigsy, maybe. We'll see what we can do. All right, Brandon has clearly lost interest in this and is just screwing around now. Yeah, like I said, follow us Facebook, Twitter. Email us keeperscornerpod@gmail.com. Episodes come out every Monday. Don't be afraid to interact or make special requests. Until next time, I'm Matt.
I'm Michelle.
Toodaloo.